Hi, everyone. Welcome to DK Presents Atlantic Rap Volume 1. I'm General Khan, and I'm going to be your host today. Let's go around and introduce everyone who's with us. Let's start with you, DK, Man of the Hour.
My name's DK. Just released an album called Atlantic Rap, Volume 1.
And what do you do, DK?
I'm a beat maker, producer, curator, I guess. Somebody on Instagram called me a curation god, whatever that means, so I guess I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay.
You should have started with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just did.
Curation.
I'm the curation god. DK.
Curation God presents Atlantic Rap.
Oh wait, I have another one.
Oh, okay.
I got a random DM from a numbered profile on Instagram. You know, these are always the best.
Bots.
Because you assume it's gonna be a bot, but this guy goes, "Your album is much better than Busta Rhymes' album." I was like, you know what? I'll take it.
Thanks, bot.
I'm C Stone Leone, rapper, producer, designer, here today to talk about Atlantic Rap Volume 1 with DK and everybody. So,
DJ Uncle Fester, producer, engineer, DJ, all-around fun guy.
True.
fun guy.
Ambeez, I make beats, I rap, I do all types of different art. And I'm lucky enough to be featured on Atlantic Rap Volume 1. So I'm here to talk about that today.
Awesome. Do we want to get into the first track?
Yeah, we want to play something maybe?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Circa 91.
Circa 91.
All right, this track's got Rashid Chappell and Kataz, both out of New York, right? DK?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, cool. Circa 91 from Atlantic Rap Volume 1. Here we go.
Project City, circa 1991. Yo, empty shells litter, playgrounds, beware stray rounds. Avis Reynolds, Peter Pans, and Greyhounds. How to work, moved out of state, carry weight, fiends. Sit up and pull up till they out of shape, out of apes. Time to re-up, got the block on freeze. Stick up kids with hammers in on sight, they squeeze. It's a dirty game. From the mud, how you earn a name. Pills, powder, heroin, or cocaine. It's no shame by any means. Earn $1 on the block or on the job. Blue collar, no hard hats, but it's Kevlar vests. Under goose bubbles, crews huddle in project staircases. Co-defendants, real niggas who share cases. Eyes empty, wrinkled lines, they old faces. They old aces came and went, they time passed. Reminisce on old English, the time passed. Was a student influenced by all the crime talk. See niggas called you cool until a nine spark. Hear the pop, the body drop, the crowd run. A nigga made his name, a nigga lost one. Was a student influenced by all the crime talk. See niggas called you cool until a nine spark. Hear the pop, the body drop, the crowd run. A nigga made his name, that's what it costs, son.
It's that 9-1 gritty rap boom bap flow. On the block with a pack, try and move that dope. The weed sell itself, so it's simple like tic-tac-toe. Niggas will fall off real quick, but they get back slow. I know real niggas who switched up and turned out pole. If it's a quick big flip, I don't turn down dough. Fly past the strip, see a bad chick and turn around slow. From the bottom covered with mud, look how it turned out though. I got this Puerto Rican butter pecan joint I know, who stay on go. Pick up the phone and call, she show. If I made her wait for an hour, she gon' stay on hold. Cause she trust me and I trust her cause she stay loyal. I know some youngers who will come and tear this place up, folk. Get caught, I know some lawyers who make the case get closed. Get dough, lay some workers off who ain't make payroll. Cause they was doing too much and just ain't play they role, nigga.
Yeah, that was awesome. So for like circa 91, like what inspired you behind it? Like what was your vibe you were going for? And how did you connect with those artists?
Well, first of all, what happened is I found the sample basically, and I chopped it. It's like a very jazzy sample. It's kind of smooth, bluesy almost. So essentially, I was just looking for an MC or MCs that had a gritty voice, I guess, that could provide some type of counterpoint or contrast to, the beat. And Fester, I think Fester introduced me to K-Taz. Fester, maybe you want to discuss how you got to connect with him, because I believe he was on a project of yours.
Yeah, I met K-Taz through somebody else even, so it's like, just keep passing it along down the line. I met him through AP, doing my project with him, because him and AP are friends. Like they know each other in person, and they hang a lot. The cool thing about Circa 91 though is it sounds so New York, and that sort of sets the vibe for the whole project. Because like Rashid Chappell and K-Taz both have that like super New York sound to them, and they both have K-Taz almost has like a Nas feel or sound to him, not a feel to the way he flows, but a sound to his voice. And Rashid Chappell has such a distinct voice as well to what he's doing there. So,
yeah, kind of like Q-Tip, almost like that type of tone.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
No, I know what you say. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, the beat almost sounds cold. Like it sounds like East Coast winter, like frigid. It sounds like icicles. Like it sounds cold.
Sounds like icicles. I had another question for you, DK. Like, in terms of this whole project and just like your inspiration around it, like what inspired you for the album title and like your vision for the project, just in general, for Atlantic Rap Volume 1?
Yeah, so I'm always inspired by going through like old jazz compilations, especially the ones where it's like, Jazz Masters or, Atlantic Jazz volumes, and you get to hear like these phenomenal songs with like phenomenal players and musicians. So I basically just wanted to, use that concept and apply it to hip-hop music. And Atlantic, obviously, we're in the Atlantic region. I'm from Newfoundland originally, so, definitely got that connection to the ocean there. So I think it kind of made sense. And I got the picture for the cover of Purdy's and, just kind of a retro vibe, for the artwork that I thought would fit the vision of the project, if that makes any sense.
It all makes sense to me. Anyone else have thoughts on Circa 91?
I just think it was distinct that you started the album with that. And then immediately going into cycles afterwards, because you like sort of set the tone with a real New York underground rap track that people are going to gravitate towards, people are going to know the names on. And then you talk about the Atlantic region, and the next track on the album is like 3 like mainstays from like the local scene, right? So, it kind of, I just think it flows really nicely right into that, right off the top.
Yeah, I agree.
Dope.
Let's cycle into cycles then.
You wanna listen to that one?
Yeah, let's listen.
Okay, cool.
My simple daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? Way the Bobby Brown is just amber like Michael.
He rocks the way the beat rocks. New version of P. DK rock, what's
My
up?
simple daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles?
Yeah.
Way the Bobby
Who
Brown
had it
is
when he
just
comes
amber
on
like
because he didn't show
He
up?
rocks the way the beat rocks. New version of P.
Yeah, I designed this constitution with this pen that got you moving. In the ruins of my thoughts, keep me true to what I lost, what I lack. Keep me fluent when I talk. Hear the truest with the raps. They be close and no cigar. Marijuana keep me tracked. Relax to the drama from the back. No, Your Honor, I won't tell you what I did in Halifax. I might take it up with her. I might take it up with him. There's nobody in my circle wasn't with me in the gym. Beat drops the back of weed spots. I'm taxing 3 rocks. I watch police cross. Go back the street. Hot niggas like me stop being conceived way back in the day. Smoke a back and I'm straight. Kinda funny how I'm bent. Take the feeling away. It's how I deal in a way. Fuck how you feeling today. On a mission for land. I know I'm more than a man. I got the world in my hands.
Yo, with
Without a doubt, my style is the wildest out. Up and up, I could never be down and out. Keep my feet on the ground till I'm around the clouds. These cats will do anything for an ounce of clout. Ambition, I'm embodying the name. How's he do it? First off, well, he's probably insane. How I navigate on the rockiest terrain. Lost my mind back then, but I never lost my brain. Kept composure nights, I thought that it was over. Acknowledging the distance only made me feel closer. Understand the difference from the misses and the opportunities that I lost, but they made my style colder. Kept my foot in the post, that was pivotal. Take the good with the bad, it's all cyclical. Rock the 1-2, meaning I'm a triple threat. Ran home, hit the cycle, listen, I ain't finished yet.
My simple daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? Way the Bobby Brown is just amber like Michael.
Heat rocks the way the beat rocks. New version of heat rock.
My simple daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? Way the Bobby Brown is just amber like Michael.
If you're the new version of P-Rock, you need to post way more outlandish stuff on your Instagram.
Way more what?
Outlandish things on your Instagram.
Now, maritime famous. The flow is ageless.
Something about chemtrails probably would get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I just stick the music around.
Because I'm disgusted. Don't call me OG, I'm G-O-D with a musket. Spit that hot shit, aim it at you and bust it. Man who breed dragonfly, leave your whole crew dusted. Me and my posse looking cocky for the paparazzi. Rage against the machine, the curb stomping Nazi. Illuminati want my blood for the Bugatti. But I'll never sell my soul cause I ain't Punani. I'm on a mission, competition, got 'em in position. Get on the mic and knock 'em out existence. Keep my name out your mouth but whisper by your missus. The most vicious when I do my business. Don't forget this will
My simple
relentless.
daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? Way the Bobby Brown is just amber like Michael.
Heat rocks the way the beat rocks. New version of heat rock.
My simple daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? Way the Bobby Brown is just amber like Michael.
Heat rocks the way the beat rocks. New version of heat rock.
DK said that that's my favorite track. It's true.
For real, it does have three. I mean, if my opinion, it does have the three best MCs in Atlantic Canada. Period. On that track. I mean, that's just. I mean, I know them all. They're all friends of mine, so that's kind of a bias. But I do. If I had to pick a top three, those three would be more than likely there. And I mean, in that track, I think really just to start the conversation of this track right away. She really shows Hatfield's genius in the way that he rhymes. He does a lot of simple things really well, and he takes simple ideas and he turns them into really great things. Like he copies the cadence of the Q-tip cut.
Yeah.
The deep oops up, the deep
Yeah.
up, oops up,
The Kanye West.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Kanye, yeah.
And that informs like the cadence of a lot of his verse. And he just does really like simple little geniusy things like that all the time that I think people take for granted, and he does them incredibly well all the time. So it's like right out of the gate, like that is such a strong track lyrically because he just he always sounds so effortless in like the way that MCs really respect, I think.
Yeah, it was so in the groove. Absolutely in the groove, and you can tell it. There's so much like comfortability. It sounded so smooth. But you're also on this track, B.
I am.
You are.
Yeah, I think when DK sent it to me, Hatfield's verse was on there, but I don't think Monarch's was yet. So I knew like the framework was there of like I had to at least like the bar was set, like Hatfield's verse is super dope. So I had to like at least match that or try to. And I knew Monarch was gonna be on it, so it's like I can't come whack, Monarch has never had a bad verse. Like he's never had a whack verse. I've never heard a Monarch verse and been like, you know what I mean? Like he always delivers. So I just try to hang with those two cats, man. They're both super nice. I just try to do a couple cool little things with the verse. The last two bars, I feel like when I wrote them, I had Fester in mind because it's like a baseball reference of like hit the cycle, listen, I like ran home. Listen, I ain't finished yet. So, yeah, and I mean, the beat is dope. It's funny that there's like the Q-tip reference on the chorus because Q-tip is like, I feel like when I listen to this album, production-wise, I feel like Q-Tip is like a influence for you. I don't know how accurate that is, but I feel like Q-Tip is like that influence is there for sure. But yeah, I love that joint. I love that beat. So
Thank you. Yeah, definitely big influence. I'd say he's like probably in my top 5, if that makes any sense.
for sure.
Producer-wise. Yeah, I mean, your verse was just so soulful, too. Like, I loved all the verses, but it was just, like, just so soulful.
Yeah, you always, like, get real, but then, like, bring it back full circle, and then, like, make the track name, and you, like, have, like, all these, like, it's always thoughtful. Like, when I listen to your verses, always, like, really thoughtful and, like, intricate, and, like, how do you even, like, what's your process for like writing something like that? Like how do you even, like, everyone has a different process, but like how do you start? Like okay, you got to match it, but like what inspired you to kind of like talk so soulfully, as DK said?
So soulful.
So soulful.
It's an old soul.
Old soul.
You know, when they tell you that, it's never good. It means you got to go to the inner world and look around and figure some things out. But yeah, it's different every time. I feel like with that verse, it's just like I like the beat immediately, so start freestyling to it, get a couple of ideas, try and play off the concept of like cycles and cyclical, and like, you know, that's like the root, that's the concept, and then like how many different ways you can go with it. Yeah, it was just like kind of freestyling, come up with some rhyme schemes, and then just try and figure out what works, you know, have a cool little flow, make a couple of jokes, you know, get in and out, try to just do something dope and musical and fun, and, you know, and not let the other MCs on the track kill me, basically.
Forgive me if I misquote. I love that bar you have in that verse. I lost my mind back in the day, but I never lost my brain.
Yeah.
I love that bar.
Like, went crazy, but you maintain focus, you know. You
Exactly.
gotta keep your wits about you, so, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Dope. Should we cue up the next track?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't we? This one's a long one. Why don't we needle drop through this one a little bit here?
Yeah, sure. Let's needle drop this one.
So this is Something Real. Is this like an intended radio track?
No, not at all.
No, it just.
Do you want me to tell you a story behind that?
Yeah. Why don't we hear the story before we drop it?
Yeah, but you don't need to play the whole thing. Even like actually in retrospect, now that I hear, I'm like, I probably could have cut a minute off that, but just for the vibe of the album, you know, I'll just let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you want to tell how it came together, or play it first?
Play it first.
Okay,
and I
cool.
can tell the story.
Okay, we'll need to drop through here a little ways.
Something real.
DK, prepare the loop.
Wanting something real, please let me navigate. Hop on this boat from coast to coast. I laminate your ID, your IC love on all avenues. This is my life, my life, my life. Say a prayer for me, let me walk in the sunshine. When raw airs told me just bees and things and flies, I take that. Making the minimum wage and now let's break that. I'm here to help you, let you take the oath. Like Keisha charmed them, I fit take with both. My goal is food, clothing, shelter, man. Libations on mantles, pour something, entertain. I put that back in my bucket like I'm pimping the rain. And bitches, it's insane, it's the simplest things. Got me winning over all the nominees. Please, just spell my name right and it's pronounced Socrates. Something real for you.
Don't just say whatever. Tell me something real. Might not be forever. Something I can feel. Don't wanna waste your time. I wanna make it right. Here we go, round and round. Please make up your mind.
I'm hopping out of the pool about the same time these kids is walking to school. I'm dropping a jewel, it's probably a zoo. I'm rocking Walkman, so obviously the way I talk is mature. The socks is velour, thoughts concocting a cure. Been sequestered for 7 semesters, spare me the lectures.
Documentary star Caesar Comanche.
A pleasant gesture via text, now she's shedding the feathers. My mental state will levitate the Nebuchadnezzar.
This track could be like front page on OK Player.
Like a couple clouds in the sky, yeah. It's been a true joy.
In 2002.
true good. Some things will always last forever. If you ask if I'm still at it, rest assured I'm always getting better. I'm on my bike, still pedaling up the hill for real. And if you tell me something real, baby, please.
Don't just say whatever. Tell me something real. Might
Caesar
not
got the
be
whole verse. Look at that.
forever. Something I can feel. Don't wanna waste
This has
your
a nice
time.
progression at the end of this track here, too.
I wanna make it right. Here we go, round and round. Please make up your mind.
Realizing it's realism. Building bridges to Queens. Ain't nothing I've seen that can heal the schism. Grand Canyon Ravine. Bisected our team. That's long division. It's clean. No song revision. The smoke has risen. The remainder is me. Our fusion is turned to fission. No illusion on this decision. Do you wanna be free? Come on. Or am I taking a knee? Start uttering words so many heard. That's surely to build a prison. Maybe ending up fulfilled. Waist deep in the skepticism. Compete or I'm joining with them. Behold the anointing because we gotta please her religion. Mixed feelings occur. Should we continue this joint thing?
Don't just say whatever. Tell me something real. Might not be forever. Something I can feel. Don't wanna waste your time. I wanna make it right. Here we go, round and round. Please make up your mind. Please make up your mind. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yo, am I crazy? I had never heard of Carlita
Me neither.
Durand before.
You've never heard of her?
No. I really I feel kind of silly afterwards.
You know the Get Back album?
No,
That's
I didn't.
how I.
The
how I
little
knew
brother?
her.
Yeah. So
I
she
mean,
was.
I know the record, but like I just don't I didn't know her to be on it.
Yeah,
so.
she was on the Get Back album. So that's how I guess, got introduced to her.
Was that did you get that contact through Caesar?
No.
Jumanji?
What happened was
mind?
I saw she like released something. I was just following her around Instagram. Released this like album during the pandemic, and there's she had a feature with Fonte, or Fonte was on her album, and rapper Big Pooh was like following me on Instagram. I was like, I wonder if I can get one of those two on the track. So, anyways, she was down to do it. Couldn't work anything out with the other two, unfortunately.
Yet.
But I wanted to. I wanted to get like another North Carolina voice on there. So Socks already had a relationship with Cesar Comanche, and so I wanted to get both of them on it. And then I ended up getting the Canadian, I guess, legend Socrates to do verse one after the other verses were down. So
Yeah, and you got a dope Socrates verse too. Like he
thanks.
delivered. Yeah.
He told me he loved the beat, and he told me that it had traits of the greats. So I'll take it.
I think that's my favorite verse on the record.
Yeah, I mean, if Socrates is gonna say that to you, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you start that? Did that song start with a sample, or did it start with something like playing?
So I played the Fender Rhodes, Fender Rhodes sound, I guess, on the track, and then after the fact, I connected with this guy named Adam Campbell, and he played the vibraphone. So there's like layers in there. So that's him. The piano is me, and the bass is me as well, and so. And the drums are just as like a drum break from this guy named AJ Hall. He's like, you'll probably see him on Instagram.
Oh no, yeah.
Some of it, yeah. So, anyways, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it at that.
If you're a producer, you know.
Yeah. So
you know who this is.
Shouts to him. Anyways.
It's funny that it's funny as like you know as the go through the years and hip hop production is discussed and things like that, like. The insider sort of smirk that people get when you mention certain samples and stuff like that, and now it's turned into like sample creators. Because you mentioned AJ Hall's name, and like anyone who knows about production is like, oh yeah, because I mean he makes such good breaks and has been so integral to the sound of a percentage of underground rap in the last number of years. So, speaking of heavies in the underground, the next track on the record's got a real big heavy, I think.
Agreed.
And Eddie Kane. I was really excited when I saw that Eddie was on the record.
Same here. It was one of the ones that I mentioned.
Interesting. Yeah, he just loved the beat and he was just down to do it. So yeah, same thing. I'll get into that after.
Do you want to just get into it, or
want to play the track? Yeah,
we can. I was gonna say something about like Ghetto Socks and like you two have had like a relationship and like a collaboration that's been going on for a while. So like I just wanted you to like touch on your like how you two kind of work together and how it's like how you've been able to like foster a collaborative relationship as like two local artists that continue to do work together.
Yeah, I think just generally like just production wise and stuff like that, like I think we're more or less on the same page, which helps. But for the creation of this particular track, like I sent him the beat and I had basically everything in place. Like I had the hook in place and Comanche's verse was in place, and I think he was in Toronto doing some business or something like that, and anyways he sent me back the verse. He did the verse up there, so
cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool because that was like the last record that was cut for the project, so yeah, I was happy with the way that came out.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's my favorite song on the album. I think the beat's incredible, everybody kills it. Like
Facts. Okay, let's get into the next one. The track 5, Gold Tooth.
Gold Tooth, yeah.
Gold Tooth.
Gold Tooth.
I love
staple in hip hop.
Yeah.
For real, Ambeez, have you heard much Eddie Kane stuff? Every project he's did.
Oh yeah.
It's good. Where's he from? New York.
Brooklyn.
No, yeah, Brooklyn.
Is Eddie Kane? Yeah. I shouldn't want to guess that.
Rose gold, frozen cold, like the Dairy Queen. Should've got them permanent to shine until they bury me. You barely seen princess cuts, so much clarity. Plug showed me love on the drop, the price fair to me. Lay back, low in the cut, so much clarity. The lights off, still blink loud, they all stare at me. Blunt lit once, still burn, caught at a cherry tree. Them guys playing Jane with stands, that shit a parody. Let me stack some, pull up with the platinums. Multicolored stones came straight from Hollow Bastion. Stunned like my dad's son, you should see my last one. Collecting with a passion, pay you via Cash App. Sliding in a scat pack, VS Splash. I got 6 in the front like I'm chewing on glass. The flow's too much for 'em, I'm spewing out gas. Threw my gold fronts on and did a Rubicon dash. Hated just the truth. Say rockin' the go, rockin' the go. Not hated just the truth. Say rockin' the go, rockin' the go. Not hated just the truth. Say rockin' the go, rockin' the go. Not hated just the truth. Say rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
Gold front shine since a young boy. Pop's mouth shine every time he looked at his son, boy.
Like
so what you think was next? By the time I was old enough, I had
never
to
thought of that before, but you're absolutely right.
Caught my first shines, could only afford 2 front teeth at the time. but I sported them shits like a real Brooklyn young, and I'm smiling in every picture and shining at every function. Kids my age range fascinated.
You're right.
School
You're so
teachers
right.
hated. Streetwise nigga felt like he made it. The time I got to high school, my mouth more lit. Got 4 tops on some Motown shit. Fast forward nowadays, through the top, center bottoms. Niggas was hating on me. Said the boy teeth would start rotting, and I'm still in my shit. They don't know what it is, cause my teeth good, and they the ones without no jizz.
I'm not hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
I'm not hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
I'm not hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
I'm not hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
We mixin' Pinot with the orange Pico, hella fino. We riding 4 deep with elephant print 3s and El Caminos. The pants is gringo, mans was Zancy, Tilly dance with Mingo. Chances slim, fancy like Manson in the gold tuxedo. Her man's is Guido, I beat the mic. Jermaine and Tito need a cedar like yo, my girl was dancing. I kissed her back, tits was all that, then fall back. I'm Mr. Handsome, smiling like the Cheshire Cat in a Lafayette jacket. Max shit, passing it back like Q on his rap tip. You want some, get a nigga trap quick, cause you never felt it deep in your stomach and got your ass licked. That's slick, gold grills in my casket, rejuvenated. We juking naked in jacuzzi, baby, with the Kama Sutra suited for the news you gave me. Who's your mans? Does he know he about to lose his lady to a Doom fan with a smile that sound like new Mercedes?
hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
I'm not hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
I'm not hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go.
I'm not hating, just the truth. Say
rockin' the go, rockin' the go too.
Mateo kills me. I swear to God.
It's well, it's for me that track has like that's like 3 really dope verses.
It's true.
That track, like there's some rapping going on.
There
on
hasn't
that,
been
on
a
that track.
bad verse yet, and there isn't on this.
No, there isn't on the record.
Yeah. No.
I mean that's the a good point to highlight here is that there isn't a bad verse on the record.
Yeah, not at all.
No.
But I think like these verses are definitely different and give like a different sound to the like. I feel like they expand the sound of the.
It's
the
a way
project.
edgy. It's a way edgier verses than on most of the record. Right? Like it brings some like rapping to the table, which I really appreciate as like a balance for the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Mixes up well.
Yeah. Because I mean, coming out of something real, like that's such a like a great track in such a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the beats aren't that drastically different. They're both like jazzy beats, but like just the feel of the tracks is different when you get into the rhyming between the two of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, gold tooth.
I mean, they all have gold tooth.
Yeah, and gold teeth.
All gold
Exactly.
teeth. Yeah.
Gold teeth.
I mean, like, I loved it. Obviously, it's not my favorite on the project. But it was like something I didn't expect to like as much as I did. And then I was like, yo, like, I really vibe. I don't have a gold tooth, but I want to have one.
You know a funny story about that record?
Okay, yes, we
Yeah,
do.
So Fester's man Roshan released a track called Same Damn Low Sweater
Okay.
with Sean Price.
Yeah.
So anyways, they sampled Raekwon for that track because, he says Same Damn Low Sweater. Anyways, so I just ran back through like the original track. I was like, why hasn't somebody sampled this line about the gold tooth?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, well, who can I get on this that, makes sense? So basically 3 MCs like from completely different backgrounds. Like Chewy, I remember just like hearing on probably like the OK Player forums or like one of those boards like from back in the day.
Yeah.
And he's from Sacramento. Then Eddie Kane, obviously Brooklyn, and Mateo, so North and Halifax. Like so different like, styles of rap, different eras really, but it all comes together.
It's actually interesting that you flip that part of the Raekwon verse because I feel like the Same Damn Low Sweater is like, I've heard that referenced in rap songs before, but to like take another part of the verse is cool because it's like taking a break that's been flipped 100 times and then you do it like, or like a sample that is known and used and then doing something different with it. So it's like recognizable, but it's like still unique in its own kind of way.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's like producer Candy.
Yeah, it's like but it's like you flipped it, you freaked it.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you want to get into the interlude, or are we going to go into Back in the City remix?
Let's go back to the city.
All right, let's go.
All right. Maybe we'll needle drop this one too, since this one it sort of like appears in a different form on an album that you and I did together earlier this year with Justo the MC. The beat, are there differences in the beat, or is the beat the same but arranged differently?
So yeah, the beat is the same. It's arranged differently. And Justo's first verse is different, and the second verse there's another MC, Red Inf, who's on it instead of Justo giving 2 verses on our track.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll needle drop through Back in the City here a little.
Hey yo, I'm back in the city. Who rockin' with me? New York state of mind, so you know I'm feeling gritty. Is you do or die, or you ride by committee? Ghetto suicide, I don't see nothing pretty, cause I'm back in the city. Who rockin' with me? New York state of mind, so you know I'm feeling gritty. Is you do or die, or you ride by committee? Ghetto suicide, I don't see nothing pretty. Hey yo, I'm back in the backdrop with bad cops, drug deals and foul plots. Time stops for nobody. That's a dead clock, real ops, let it be known. Ain't nothing to make a call on that cellular phone. Leave your cells under stones, they sell stones on the corners back home. Mind your business or get met with the chrome. That's the policy, can't win on effort alone. And fuck your modesty, honestly, it's nothing to hide. Goonies run the streets. Bright lights near the garden, it's the Knicks or the Rangers. See the fans lining up, love or hate from a stranger. This that place where you safe till you met with the danger. Happens in a split second, watch your neighbor's behavior. The allure of the drip and the flavor have you taking more L's than rappers on the major. New York, I ain't your savior, but love you to death. Haven't been at your best, but pray you soon resurrect forever rap. Who rockin' with me? New York state of mind, so you know I'm feeling gritty. Is you do or die, or you ride by committee? Ghetto suicide, I don't see nothing pretty, cause I'm back in the city. Who rockin' with me? New York state of mind, so you know I'm feeling gritty. Is you do or die, or you ride by committee? Ghetto suicide, I don't see nothing pretty, cause I could be blind and know I'm back home. How could you tell? Take a deep breath in, catch the foulest of smells. Them city limits, I told you about it, I think you missed it. Feel the metropolitan blues, I vibe with it, shit.
Let me walk you through my side of town, gather around. If it's up, it go down. Blood stains on the ground, powerful reach. I make a call, the wolves hover around. Ain't no silencer. I want you to hear how loud it sound. This the borough where Supreme got rich at. Griselda ran blocks down here. Jackson Heights where the bricks at. Rocky still in the feds. Cousin Jay still in Raybrook. Telling me to lead the streets and write rhymes instead. We the most diverse. School of hard knock shirts. Queen 7. My borough breeds legends. Pouring out Henny for the soldiers that took a trip to heaven. Ain't no half-stepping. Flushing the Elmhurst what I'm repping. New York. Big city of dreams. But everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town. Not from Queens, I rep the high. Came to lock down the crown. Commercial or underground, don't matter, we hold it down. Put it on for our city, making every ghetto proud. You might get fooled if you come from out of town. Not from Queens, I rep the high. Came to lock down the crown.
In the city, who rockin' with me? New York state of mind, so you know I'm feeling gritty. Is you do or die, or you ride by committee? Ghetto suicide, I don't see nothing pretty, cause I'm back in the city. Who rockin' with me? New York state of mind, so you know I'm feeling gritty. Is you do or die, or you ride by committee? Ghetto suicide, I don't see nothing pretty.
I feel like I'm coming home when I listen to that song. I don't know. I feel like I'm driving home. I'm coming back home after a long trip. And I'm like, yeah, I'm back in the city. Really has that vibe. How do people feel about that? How do you feel?
Yeah, it's dope. I like that beat a lot. It's kind of like you're saying. It's like anthemic. It's like kind of got an anthem kind of feel to it with the chorus.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's hard. Drums are dope. Like that break, you know, the chops of the break with the, you know.
I mean, it's weird. It's weird for me because I've heard it in a different context for so long. Because on the album that DK and I did, of course, I mixed that record too. So like I heard the other version of, and it's interesting because like it's a real hip hop thing to do a remix where the music doesn't change.
Yeah.
That's that's a form of remixing in hip hop where you just change like, you know, get a couple different MCs on the track and maybe flip up your verse too. And like not a lot of people do that style of remix anymore. So I really thought that was cool. But for me, it took some getting used to hear it in a different context, and it made the beat sound different to me. Because the way that people like the Red Inf and the way Justo in his new verse, he rhymes a little differently on it. So, but it's cool that it's that style of remix, which is like really, you know, you don't hear like Queens of the Stone Age doing a remix, and here's like you know whoever else is like some other rock vocalist is on there.
Weezer.
Exactly. Exactly, doing a verse. You know, like you don't see that in other things. So like it's cool that took that element as well.
I love that guitar in there. It's just such a minor thing, but I love it.
Well, let me tell you about the guitar.
Okay, let's hear.
Basically, beat like blends, I guess, 3 samples. Well, if you include the drums, but like the main part there, like I guess it's like a flute and horn that's like layered. That's like from one source. Then like basically just filtered out the bass and like I just kept the bass for the verse. And then I found something else that like went with it from like a completely different record. That guitar and like those keys. It's like just all tuned, so it sounds like it's from one source, but it's not.
Is it a library?
Right? Like Pete Rock, like back in the day, like the main ingredient. I don't know how familiar everyone is with that album, but it's like some of that like blending stuff is just like, you know, genius.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I say a Pete Rock style beat, even though it doesn't sound like a Pete Rock beat, you know. Just like his, I guess I'm using his, you know, techniques or, you know, train of thought to put it something original together there.
Oh, the guitar! It sounds like a library record. You don't have to say what it is.
Oh, it's not a library record.
It sounds
no.
like some
it's
Alan
like prog rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sample snitching here on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm saying he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Don't give it up. Don't give it
Sample,
up.
please.
Not me.
Not you.
The
Not
internet's
you.
gonna go crazy.
No.
Yeah.
It's prog rock. It's rock from Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a library record? Okay.
Yeah, the other thing too is that for the remix, Red Inf is from Queens and Justo the MC is from Brooklyn, so I wanted another New York MC, but probably from a different borough of New York, to be on it, just for, you know, to switch it up a little bit.
Fair.
Yeah.
Nice switch.
Shout out to Justo,
Yes, shouts to him.
my dude.
All right. We're getting into Oprah.
This one's weird. Why is there only one person on this track? I wanted to
I
ask.
also was wondering.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's just that it's
Different.
It's cool because it stands out from the rest of the tracks. Was that on purpose or did it just happen that way?
That's actually like a track that like way predated the album. I think I did that track in like 2018, and I was just kind of, you know, I didn't really have a place for it, but I was like, you know, it sonically fits here, even though it's just one MC. So that's, I guess, the story of that.
It definitely stands out.
Yeah.
I think this track does.
Yeah, because it's just one MC, you mean?
One MC and just
It's
like,
dark. It's darker.
It's darker.
Darker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Not
right.
that it sounds out of place, but like compared to the other tracks on the project, it's definitely the darkest, just sounding all around.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting you mention that now that you mention it. Yeah, so King Bliss, the MC on the project. Yeah, it was in Toronto, I think it was 2018. So anyways, we ended up connecting at this place called Sneaky D's. And
Shout out
for a bite to
Sneaky D's.
eat. Yeah.
Nah.
Shout out.
Shout out to Sneaky D's. So anyways, like I just kind of brought him some beats and I was just saying like, hey, I'm looking for a track. Can you do this? Like, so he was down. So I sent him like 2 or 3 beats and he was like, do you have anything more like in style of Derringer? And I'm like, so you mean dark? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, sure. So I sent him that and then that was it. He liked the beat and then put the track together.
Cool.
So that explains that.
Why don't we Neil drop through it a little bit here?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I hooked Oprah. Big fish with the cook.
Where's Bliss from?
Third leg of foot
Toronto,
soldiers,
but
never
Jamaica
been
originally.
stroker. Punks be jumpy, that ain't they best soaker. With the pumpy, I'm a Humphrey S. smoker. Shit, word. Ponzi schemes till my money's robbery to go fund me. Kamikaze will sun me. Never spot any cranes, that's a long seat. See remains on the palm trees. Tryna build up change though, like Chauncey. Loose lips told me Jane though, no necromancy. This my block, I don't lose bricks. This ain't Marcy. Cyclops, the NARC, they ran a stick. So I no longer pick up rings, I'm a divorcee. Rather hit on brinks, dig the vault, Laura Crawford. Pick cotton enough, don't need no Dr. Cotton Gore. Shit crop for life support. He attacked this cockerel. Coppers buck the core, we just got to rock the boards and shit. Word. Call the slip and she blurted out. Baby girl told me your whereabouts. Hiding out in the deserted house. Guess you heard about the word of mouth. Young and don't trip, we can sort it out. Long as you don't bring the yardie out. No fingerprints, I clean it with a towel. Guess you heard about me the word of mouth. I'm philanthropic, people gossip. Say that I flex more than my bicep. You don't know the God, you still agnostic, you still a biopic. Imitators who don't just kiss ass, lip locking with your bitch ass. I keep bullets, yeah, I'm making me a list, fam. Cover wrists like wristbands, quicksand, piss hands, who therapists your slip sands. Kanye West rants, niggas think shells go with sand. Pray your soul to keep you overheat, some get tan. Speaking out the side of their mouths where blunts gets hanged. Name raised red flags like Trump, yes man. They got me lumped in with brothers who jumping at the junction. Stick you up, back your puncher in, but I'm the sun king. Goons kept in circumference around squares plus Patrick Sponge friend. Still pat more punches than workers who punch in. Word. Call the slip and she blurted out. Baby girl told me your whereabouts. Hiding out in the deserted house. Guess you heard about me through word of mouth. Young and don't trip, we can sort it out. Long as you don't bring the yardie out. No fingerprints, I clean it with a towel. Guess you heard about me through word of mouth.
That track for me is really good because it's like it gives a contrast to everything else on the record, and like I always I think if I listen to a rap record, for just me personally, if I listen to a rap record that is all like one blush or one tone or one feel, like this album is really jazzy in a lot of ways and soulful, and for me like this is like something that balances the record. It's like like if the cliched cooking analogy, where you need to balance your flavors and stuff like that. So
Breaks it up.
Yeah, for me, like that's what this track does, like 100%.
Cleansing the palate.
I love the switch up he does on the second verse. Like he ends it a little bit short and kind of like halfway through changes his flow up compared to the first verse, because like he starts it out similar to the first, but then change it up. He starts to say like he's fitting in a bit more words in there, like per line. Like I love the transition to that, and then to cut it short, like, and then to start the chorus a little bit earlier. I just like that whole concept there.
I mean, that brings up the interesting question to some people who've had some experience making different rap albums, is that like when you work with MCs who are guests, sometimes those things happen by accident, like those type of unusual arrangements.
Yeah.
Because an MC will send you something that you didn't expect, and you have to arrange your beat around it almost in a certain way. I know like that. I don't know if you've had that experience before, DK, where
Yeah, I have.
I mean, did that happen in this case, or was that just like you ran with it when he went into the chorus early? Did you ever think about starting the chorus early, or just let him go with it?
Well, yeah.
Because it sounds cool. It's like it sounds dope.
Yeah, you're right. I definitely considered both options, but at the end of the day, I just let it be what it was.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you could like, I've experienced everything from like getting 12 bars when you were supposed to get 16 to like getting 24 when you're supposed to get 12. So like you gotta sort of juck and jive, no matter what you get, and make it work.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can make for like, because sometimes like that will break the producer out of their habits. Like I know I have certain arrangement habits when I'm arranging my stuff, and like in terms of like, like this many bars for my chorus and the verse and the bridge, and then like that sort of stuff, and kind of get out of like the monotony of doing things that are too similarly structured.
Right.
And things like that. So
it's cool to experiment with structure. Like just how we're saying, like it could be somebody doing a 16, could be a 16, then somebody right after could be a 32, could be cutting it even shorter, could be doing whatever. It's just cool to mess around with like
structure.
Not everything has to be the same.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Another cool trick too is like on that one where you were just discussing how it comes in early and there's some like spatial gaps and all that. Just like the delay trick. I don't know if you listen back, there's a delay. Essentially, just like small tricks like that can really just make things sound more natural and just takes up space. So just something to consider when sometimes if there's spaces and you just need to fill gaps. Just cool vocal tricks and stuff like that. Delays, they go a long way.
Facts.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Bees?
Yeah, different structures are cool. Sometimes if MCs either intentionally write outside of a 16-bar verse, or sometimes if they just, not that they don't know, but like the verse is the verse, you know what I mean? And where it ends is where it ends. And then you kind of fit the beat or arrangement around that is kind of cool. Like it's noticeable that the chorus is in a different spot the second time around, but it doesn't sound wrong. It just sounds different. So it kind of breaks it up and it ends the song that way. So it's like, yeah, it's just cool. It's a cool arrangement. It sounds dope.
Cleanses the palate yet again.
Yeah.
You know, maybe this is a good. There's only one track left on the record. Why don't we? Because like the next track actually has some of that. There's some slight differences in the verses in the next track too. This might be a good time to get into. We can get into that last track and then we can react to it and then just ask some wrap up questions. On on the other side of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Does that feel okay to everyone?
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Are we doing anything for the other interlude? We didn't play that, do we?
No, do you want to? Well, you can just put it underneath.
I'll put it underneath.
Put it underneath
Okay.
some stuff. I think.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, why don't we play Intuition then?
Let's do
Okay.
it.
I'm not the type of person that gives up and plays victim. I might be in my feelings in private, but I evict them. I always find the lesson, apply it soon as the test come. I was a bright student, it's obvious, cause the rest dumb. I'm Scrooge with my time now. Energy is currency, and currently I'm as stingy as the fucking White House, attuned to the divine now. I purposely disturb your sleep and drop the jewels to leave a blueprint for this lifestyle. Don't come slacking, I ain't no has-been. I really am the future, you just used to, like the past tense. I don't smoke hookah, I'm too bougie for a damn trend. Just give me my weed, a good movie, and my damn friends. I don't like the phony shit. I know we all on different paths and I respect that, but I don't endorse the pony tricks. Rather be alone and align myself like a solar eclipse. Know the mind is all, so my thoughts are basically O's to flip.
Intuition is fair, even when my vision's impaired, yeah.
My mental's a bullet, my tongue's the figure that bullet.
Intuition is fair, even when my vision's impaired.
Is that a Rascast cut? Is that a Rascast vocal cut?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
Snorting the rollie, check how I spent mine. A wise man told me you save the money and spend time. I can't afford a minute. Homies in the mountains doing double digits, running out of time and can't do nothing with it. My head flowing, say I'm looking like the Holy Spirit. Right now I be flowing with the greats and I ain't nowhere near it. I vibrate and just continue to dispose of lyrics. These MCs have been exposed and they all can hear it. The highest quality, burn a verse like a calorie. It's like hitting the lottery. Way these players be mad at me. I defy gravity. Pen been through the galaxy. The best MC. None on this planet can challenge me. Avoid the conflict, cause we all on that calm shit. The big UFO, keeping rappers by my armpit. Sun them out, spin the block with them while the sun is out. Write a hot album and tour, we on the money route.
Intuition is fair, even when my vision's impaired, yeah.
My mental's a bullet, my tongue's the figure that bullet.
Intuition is fair, even when my vision's impaired, yeah.
Yeah. I twist niggas on this type of time. You live a life of rhymes? Homie, I live a life of crime. This life of mine is like eating brine. Fuck your stomach up. I use that analogy, cause I'm coming up. Regurgitate, perforate, penetrating your bacon. Put you on vacation, permanent. Put your body where the vermin swim. Who the fuck is Wise P? I still learning him? Ain't no bitches curving him. I get my turban in, terrorist flow. It's Sierra's the dough, horse and carriage married to blow. Dedicated to coke, premeditated the dope. Blue pills, my life real, even sell you a hoe. Ain't no malice, I don't feel envy. Violate, I push your shit back. Have you looking like Sherman Hemsley, George Jefferson? Get the weapons in, then I'm stretching them until the coroner collecting them. Respect the win.
Took a second to think, a minute get essayed. Time is everything, so I kick it 10 out of decade. Marking epics out of my best days. NWA like I'm O'Shea, but where the Mets played. Tick tock, tick bombing, my clock's atomic. AI on our tails, I'm running robotic, sonic, chopping chronic. Twist big L's, then drop the bonics. Nostradamus, centuries in my book. Gave props and homage, lots of diamonds I done dug out on a beat when it's bumping. Tuning the frequencies, look like I'm speaking to nothing. Look at the father, my mother think of sleeping his cousin. Peace and repercussions, beefing turn to cheat, now they snuffing. In the wrong place, the right times when you own it. At times in life, you feel a lifetime in a moment. Moment of a lifetime, when we rhyming, we zoning. Out of my mind, be going out my mind to control it. But my
intuition is fair, even when my vision's impaired, yeah.
My mental's a bullet, my tongue's a bigger than bullet.
Intuition is fair, even when my vision's impaired, yeah.
My mental's a bullet, my tongue's a bigger than bullet.
Intuition is fair, even when my vision's impaired, yeah.
My mental's a bullet, my tongue's a bigger than bullet. Check the method.
Unlike them, we craft gems.
So Roscos, tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
What was that you said again?
All right, here's a story.
Okay.
Yeah, so essentially, I made the beat and I sent it to the first MC, Ada. So loved her verse. So it's like, yeah, let's build on this. So I've had a relationship with UFO Feeve from my last record with Ghetto Socks. He was on a track called Chicken Chop. So, anyways, yeah, shouts to him. So sent it to him. Got his verse. Then after that, I was like, who else could I get on this that's like, in that kind of style of rap? So Wise P came to mind. And what happened there was he actually released a record. I think it was called Tapas in like 2020 or 2021. And it had some pretty cool features. Like it had like Paul Wall and like Cool G Rap. Anyways, really liked the record. So I messaged him. He was down to do it. He sent me a verse back, and then he like called me while he was doing it. He was like, Razkaz is in the studio with me right now. I was like, really? He was like, yeah, you sampled him for the hook. I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, well, I didn't think Jay-Z was in the studio. He was also sampled. So yeah, so that was cool. So Raz just redid his the vocal from Soul on Ice that Fester cut up and sampled. So he just re-recorded that, and then we just blended that in. So that was pretty cool how that whole thing happened. And then like the backstory was Razkaz actually used to live with Jay-Z as well, and Wise P was obviously in that circle with Rockefeller.
Yeah,
So it makes sense.
It's kind of crazy how they all came together from the cuts I chose, and like how Razkaz was in the studio with him and was like, "Oh, that sounds dope. I want to like be a part of this." Because it's always to me it's like that's rap. That's hip hop, and I'm glad it wasn't like, oh, they used me on the track, like they can't sample me,
Yeah.
Because like there have been some rappers in the past who have decided that like, despite the fact that they're like as hip hop as it gets, that they didn't like the culture all of a sudden and didn't like the fact that their own voice was sampled. So to me, it's like in a story like this where like these artists are excited and getting invested in the track, like that's takes it like the extra distance to make it dope, I think.
I wonder if that's like the first time in rap history where an artist heard a song before it came out, heard that their voice was sampled, and was like, "Nah, I'm gonna re-record my vocal for the song." Like
for the sample.
Man.
It might be.
Ever happened? Like
Man,
everything lining up like that is
Wow.
wild.
Covered
thought of
him,
that.
he, like covered himself.
Wow.
Wow.
Making history, DK.
Shout to Razcast,
Shout
though.
out to Razcast.
Yeah,
Man.
you know,
Big time.
it is
Super consistent.
You know, it is amazing how crazy things happen. Like, just to tell a little bit of a different story that happened to both of us, how like these crazy things happen sometimes. Just like how, you know, just to tell a story about your previous album about how Rome Streets got on the track with Sky Zoo and Ghetto Socks. That track had Sky Zoo and Ghetto Socks on it, and was in a studio that Rome Streets was like a studio that we were not in. That track, that a demo of that track was being played just through connections that DK had. To different people, and Rome Streets happened to be in that studio and heard that track and was like, I want to be on that track. That beat is dope, and Sky Zoo's on that track. I want to be on that track. And for some reason, the connection to it, he ended up in my DM rather than DK's, and I was connected to the track too, but then I just passed it along to DK, and because he was like in my DM saying, hey, how do I get on this how do I get on this track? And we're looking at the DM going, I mean, now Rome's was not as big as he is now then, but we knew about Rome's, and we were like definitely fans of him as an MC. So I think that was an easy yes.
Yeah, that
from
was
us.
that record was cut. That record was cut like either late 2018 or early 2019. It was like well before he blew up, but he was still on like on Sirius XM and that type of thing.
Yeah.
You could see the
But he was
the
like
traction.
just getting on.
Yeah, it was
the
post
main radar then.
Yeah.
It was post. It was just as Nose Candy 3 was coming out, and it was just post his album with the Artivist. I forget what that's called. Joyeria.
Yeah.
It was like maybe just like half a year after.
And
that.
he just featured on Conway, like a Conway project and a West Side Gun project the same year, I think.
But it's just, again, that just shows you like that's how sometimes these crazy things come around. If just people being in the right place at the right time, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like my ear too.
All right.
That works.
You have a
That
good
works.
ear.
I try. Yeah, I mean, I try to have a good ear. Like I think just from record digging and that type of thing. And I just know like a voice is super important. And if I hear somebody who can rap, and I like their voice, like it's just one of those things. You know, I just find I just have.
Shout out DK's ear.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole project. There's some questions here that I guess DK kind of brought to me, so I was thinking we could discuss, but like on that same note about like people getting upset about being sampled or stuff like that in the rap scene is like something that me and DK were kind of talking about is like this like sense of entitlement and like weird ego, and we were kind of like talking about it a little bit earlier about like how well people like fail to invest in themselves and turn around and complain that the scene isn't popping or that, you know, they're not getting enough like kudos or whatever. So like, what are your takes on that? How do you feel about that?
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Well, I mean-
can of worms.
I'll just preface and say that we're not really talking about, you know, the local scene. It happens in every single scene. So
Yeah,
I'll just preface it by
absolutely.
saying that it's just not Halifax. But I just want to say that, like, you know, sitting down and writing like a verse every day or sitting down and make a beat every day, it's like that's one of those things that's like it's so democratic in the way that you can literally just spend time to get better at something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you just think about it, like it doesn't really take much. Like the Barry Venturi to get a laptop or like a notebook and just like write rhymes or like get FL Studio and make a beat. It's really not like that much of an investment as it was last time. So I just think that's super important for people to work on their craft. That's kind of where I'm getting at.
Yeah, and I feel like it's important to collaborate on your craft too, and like sharing your craft. And I think like you were talking about that, Fester, like that being what rap's about, right? So I feel like sometimes that's lost. Sometimes I don't know. That's how I feel.
Well, I mean, the thing is too is that like rap is one of those things too where there are people who don't spend any time on it and believe that they should be involved in everything, or they believe that they do one thing and it should be blowing up really quick, right? Like it's like the barrier for entry is low, which is why it's awesome. You know, like that's where the
It's low barrier.
That's where the magic comes.
It's accessible.
That's
It's
like
true.
that's the essence of it in a way. But it also leads, especially in the era we're at, where the technology is there for everyone, and that is like ultimately a good thing. But and that's why investment in yourself is so important, because like if you're not doing it all like that, that is the only path forward. Like there are so many, like there are like the staggering amount of songs uploaded every day, the amount of people who don't. Talented people that don't make it is, you know, and the difference is just putting the work in, right? So And just rap is one of those things where certain people believe that there is a sense of weird. There's a sense of weird entitlement, and there's a sense that of jealousy of other people that is more prevalent. I feel like in this scene than other scenes, and I think that that's where this concept of investing in yourself and the work is important, because that is the only separator, unless you're a lottery winner and you somehow are plucked out of the masses to get the type of views and push that people need to get the machine behind them, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some people that are born stars too. That's the other thing. I mean,
Talk about yourself, DK.
like Stevie Wonder, born to be a star. Come on,
Born
come
to
on,
be
man.
a star.
I feel
But
like.
I mean,
Sorry.
no, I'm just gonna say. But even though being like, there are people like, I mean, like Hatfield, who's part of the record. Like, I think that he's one of these guys who's got qualities to be bigger. To be like, there's something there that could be taken. It could be like, there's a chance for him to get over on a larger number of people as radar than a lot of people, I think. But even that's not a given for people like that have that talent, right? Like, that's not a, just because people possess that talent doesn't mean that it's going to work for them. And there's so many people out there who deserve to be seen.
Yeah.
That don't get seen sometimes.
And I feel like a lot of it now, especially too with a lot of like younger generations coming up. I'm 23, so this is coming from like my direct standpoint. Like, I feel like you see it in every industry, not just like music or anything like that. Like the whole entitlement thing, like we're talking about, like
Gatekeeping and shit like that.
stuff like that, and just I guess like a lot of like, I'm not talking about anybody obviously, just like a lot of like younger generations
He's talking
now.
about
There's
somebody's
that, no, it's like that.
Sorry.
Just that sentiment, like just that general sense of entitlement, like, oh, like why do I need to do that, or like why should I have to do that? Like I should just be put here. Like, and like you see that in the arts, you see that in like work industries. Like it's just a lot more prevalent of a thing now in general. And
I would agree.
And I mean, in some ways, it's like, okay, great, like you're thinking about yourself and whatnot. But I mean, like especially when we're talking about music, like how you said, like there's those talented people that aren't getting put on, but there's just so much out there. Like there's so many people making
It's super
music now.
saturated.
Exactly.
But I think it's also like on people who are getting noticed in the scene, especially if you're like in a local community and it's so tight knit. I think it's like there is a responsibility that you have to like help bring others in ways that you can, right?
Absolutely.
And I think
Absolutely.
and I think like that's the thing about like rap and rap culture that's so beautiful. Like in its roots, that's how things have been formed and how trees have grown, right?
It's a
like,
community thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it should be like more community based and stuff like that. But that entitlement, that ego definitely gets in the way. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. we could talk about this forever, but I think like even just like, talking about the local scene and like, Halifax, like, hopscotch. We just had the Alchemist here. We had that huge beat battle. Shout out to Bees for winning it. We had like, we have a lot of things happening here. And like, what do you think in terms of like our little community? What are you hoping for? Like, what are you hoping is next for us? Like, what do you see on the horizon? Or like, if you had like a wish for rap in the local scene, like what are you hoping to see in the future, and how are you hoping that we grow in the ways that are really going to foster that community?
Well, if you take a look at my last project, Atlantic Rap Volume 1, you'll see that there's so many local artists involved.
Wow.
So obviously I'm big on collaboration. Yeah, Fester here mastered the record, did the DJ cuts, and have Ambition and Mo Money, Mateo, Hatfield, and Socks, who weren't able to make it. Shouts to them. But yeah, I'm just a big fan of having local people involved because, as we all grow, it's like if somebody here gets put on, then where does that put everyone else that's like, doing the exact same thing? It's just everyone else benefits from being in that position. So everything I want to talk about too is you mentioned the battle. Shouts to Ambition for winning the battle. But it's just a really weird like hip hop thing where everything is like so battle oriented. It's like, oh, I'm the best. I'm not going to look out for anyone else. It's like, no. It's like there has to be some type of balance, like competitive, where you can, be in that place and be super competitive in a battle, but also, look after your peers and that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's gonna flex their chops once in a while.
Yeah, flex,
Yeah, yeah.
flex. We love a good flex.
I mean, I think what I'd like to see from the scene is more cohesion in terms of like of becoming visual to an audience. Like Halifax has always had a strong scene artist wise. Like always since the '90s, it punched way above its weight in terms of the hip hop scene. It's a very blue collar art city in every scene, and there's never an issue in terms of creativity and people doing good music here. But there is through the years of periods of the scene being more fractured and more together. And attracting more of an audience when it's more together. And I think that like I would just like to see more, just as these trends ebb and flow. Just I would like to see us get into a trend of being more of a community when it comes to live shows. The pandemic did a number on everyone's scene for live shows, and there's a generation of first-time local hip hop artists who didn't understand what it is to get a show and book a show and gain relationships with different club managers. And,
Hello.
Same.
And get the experience of even touring around the Maritimes and within Canada. And all of those things grow a scene, and all of those things build a network, and all of those things share audience and eyes. And I just want to see. I feel like this year was a year of sort of resuming that. It felt like the first year since the pandemic where that happened. Not I feel like even talking about the effect of the pandemic on music feels tiring, and it feels tired even. But it's the truth, and I think that I would just like to see that cohesion continue to return.
Absolutely.
It'd be nice to see everything build back up. Yeah. Just see more shows, just more consistency.
Yeah.
Like not like.
And I want to see
consistency in terms
different
of
people
events.
on the bill. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna say that I want to see different people on the bill.
Yeah.
Lots of different kinds of people and different kinds of sounds on the bill, but just show that there's more out there. How about you, Bees?
I agree with everything Fester says regarding building the scene community. It's all facts.
Corroborates.
I co-sign 100%.
Wow. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you do. I mean, the last kind of question, but I think we already touched on this. Like, how can we support the growing scene? I think we already kind of touched on that. I really hope for.
And also, not to cut you off, but I feel like the support and fostering of the scene at a certain point has to come from outside of the scene itself. Like,
Agreed.
We as artists, we can only do so much with applying for grants and building. The community is built in a lot of ways. I don't know where the support is going to come from, some angel investor or what has to happen. But it feels like for a long time we've all kind of had this ecosystem of really dope music and art being made.
Right.
But like there needs to be some sort of shift somehow. I don't know what that is or where it comes from.
I think this is an important point to touch on as we're wrapping up here, which is that, and this is something that DK has experienced, something that I've experienced, something that I think we've all experienced, which is that the more that we're a cohesive scene, the more that we can also show bodies who represent music in our region and in our country, like things like Factor or Music Nova Scotia, bodies that are in charge of organizational things, helping with touring, logistical things, and granting. When they understand what our scene is, they're going to be able to better represent it, because a lot of times you bring what we're doing, like if we've got connections to the hip hop scene at large, and we're making these massive inroads outside of the scene. These organizations don't understand what that means.
No, they don't.
Like they don't understand what it means to be played on like a DJ Eclipse's radio show or DJ Premier's radio show or Static Selector's radio show or any of these guys, right? They don't know what that means for in our world and in our scene, right? And so they don't have the context in order to understand what artists to support. And I think that all that part comes with the cohesion as well, because the scene can't really grow if we just keep perpetuating what succeeds only on a local level. And that's not meant to derive any particular artists, but we really have this sort of cycle of digging in and promoting only locally, and hip hop really suffers because there is sometimes a disconnect because the intention is there to support the scene, but if we're fractured and we're not informing these people as to what is really going on, they're not going to be able to properly support our scene as well.
But to me, it also sounds like a staffing issue. Like they don't have anyone that actually knows the scene in the way that, like, they don't have people that are part of the scene, understand the scene, know what's don't know anything about rap.
It's true.
And that's why, I mean, I'm just gonna shut up.
Yeah.
You were saying?
No, but it's true. But I think that's
you're right.
I think that's an important point too, because you can't expect these organizations to have a member of staff who intimately knows every genre of music, right?
Yeah, no,
So that's-
I don't think tokenizing like a random black person's gonna work either. Like,
No.
I mean, like we've seen this happen in organizations, and it doesn't work.
But
like, there's
but the scene here has been strong, and it's been misrepresented for a very long time. So those two situations do need to connect somewhere down the road.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be more investment, and they actually need to like learn about what we want instead of telling us what we need. And I think like that's how we're not being served properly. And I mean, there a lot of us, at least me personally, are not going to them for support because they actually can't support us in the ways that we need to grow.
Well, they've proven to us that they can't. Like, I mean, that's the unfortunate truth.
There's lost
Is
trust.
that we've all gone to them for support and found ways in which, to no fault again of the intention of the organizations, but like just in terms of how they can help us in their understanding, it falls short.
Yeah, but I also think like there's like for me, like when I think about some of the ways that they are willing to support, it's like they devalue the amount of like based off of how much support, if we're talking monetary, like it's like, oh, you actually don't give a shit about my art because you're only willing to give me this much for something that's going to take a lot of labor for me. And so when that happens, I just sort of disengage. I'm like, actually, I don't even want to work with you at all because you don't even value any of the labor or the like art or pain that's gone into this process. Like, it's not easy writing out your soul or producing and sitting there and doing it every day. Like, that kind of shit should be celebrated and rewarded, right?
Feels like you're being looked at like a number, basically.
Yeah, and like we're not like, we're not folk artists. We're not, like, like,
exactly.
We're not like, so it's like I mean, like, I think there definitely needs to be more intentional like support and I don't know, just work to be done there.
I feel like there's still there could still be like a real stigma around the province just in general, and I guess like the Atlantic provinces, because like we're still like in terms of like just in general, like compared to the rest of Canada, like let's say, like we're still pretty old in our ways, like, you know what I mean, like
there is plenty of latent racism still in the maritime provinces, and it absolutely continues to affect the. I mean, yeah,
exactly.
I mean, like if you look at like every other genre of music has a small town soft cedar career at a certain level of local artist in this province and around the Maritimes, and unless you're one maybe two artists in the Maritimes, and I'm not going to name names, you don't get to go to the Marigold in Truro, and you don't get to go to Lunenburg, and you don't get to go to Yarmouth, and you don't get to go to these soft cedars, and you don't get to attract these audiences that some of these other genres attract, right? So, I mean, that's I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I feel like
I think you completed each other's
no,
thoughts.
exactly.
But I feel like that's what you're speaking to there.
No,
100%. Which is like we are at a disadvantage from the Jet.
We're old country people down here, right?
Yeah,
like
so.
it's like.
I mean, it makes it incredibly awkward for me as like being a racialized person, but also like being like a Muslim person who's like in rap. It's like there's a lot, so it makes it harder to even like engage with organizations like that, or like even be comfortable to like, I know, and my content too is like when I get on stage, I'm usually talking about racism and telling white people to shut up. So it's definitely interesting to kind of exist in the scene that way. But I think that's why it needs to change and kind of.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, if you can't support a rap scene, which I think is like, for me at least, rooted in justice and like all these like incredibly beautiful values, then it's your loss.
I mean, that's why the community, that's like all the concepts that we've been touching on just relate to just trying to keep the connectivity of the scene, right?
Exactly.
Right.
You know, and keep it cohesive, and like
has to be a functioning community.
Yeah, and network with each other, and be able to benefit from that community. So
right.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
Well said.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. Thank
Cool.
you so much, DK, for putting this together, and I hope everyone goes and checks out DK Presents Atlantic Rap Volume 1.